Edwin from Making an Impact here, and I'm going to jump right into what this video is all about. 3 killer sales closing phrases and how to close more deals with confidence in 2023. This video is for you if you're dealing with lots of, objections, your sales team, your salespeople aren't closing their deals, they're not closing their leads, you've got unqualified people getting on the phone with you, you're dealing with mindset issues that keep you from closing deals. We're going to talk about all sorts of ways you can just mitigate that, eliminate that, get past that, especially here in 2023, because the market's always changing. Plus, in a minute, I'm going to show you how you can actually feed your sales team with high intent, qualified buyer leads day in, day out, using some evergreen assets, totally free, organic. It's awesome. 100% white hat, no weird hacks, anything like that. But before then, we got to get you or your sales team, dialed in and mastering some things. Now, you're probably used to, objections. You probably, if you're anything like me, you probably run into those phases where you're like, ooh, I don't want to be coming off too much like, the used car salesman here. I don't want to be pushy, spammy, everything like that. I don't want to be this guy. I don't know. I'm just looking up, car salesman, and this goofy picture happened. I don't even know what this is about, but basically nobody's having a fun time here, right? And if you're anything like me and you've struggled with sales and stuff like that, then you know what it's like. So number one, sales closing phrase number one that's totally revolutionized my sales and the sales of people under me and a lot of other people. A lot of this is going to come from Chris Voss. Now, he's got an amazing book called Never Split the Difference. He's got a new one too here. I'm gonna read this here soon. But basically, what I love about Chris Voss is it's actually not so much about like the specific words and the killer sales phrase that you use. It's more about the psychology behind it and the little. I use this analogy a lot with my clients when I'm like, look, it's about having a small rudder that steers a ship the size of the Titanic, right? And what I tell them is like, when you get on a sales call, you don't need to focus so much about like, what do I need to say and like what structure and script should I use in my sales and closing process. I'm like, if you just get the little rudders right, these little turn of key phrases, if you just get those right, you're going to steer the conversation where it needs to go and get the deal done. Now, the first phrase is not even a phrase, and it also doesn't even happen at the end when you go to close. The first one is called what I call the qualifying why question. All right, and Chris Voss goes really deep in on this, why you want to avoid why questions almost 90% of the time, because why puts people on the defensive. If you ask them, why do you enjoy that kind of flavor of coffee, people are kind of like, well, because it's what I like. I'm like, why are you questioning me about what is my favorite coffee? Why questions? If you ever, it comes from our parents, right? Growing up, why'd you do that? Your teachers in school, it happened to me all the time. Why did you do that? Why'd you, break that rule? And it's like, well, I don't know, because I wanted to. And that rebellion comes out. So you almost always want to avoid why questions when you're on when you're on a sales call with someone, because putting some bad juju out there. But there's about 2 times that I'd recommend using it, and that Chris Voss recommends using it, and it's based on what he said. But the first time I really like using it is right at the beginning of a sales call. Okay, so you do your quick little intro. Hey, what's going on, John? We had a chat here scheduled for 6 p.m. EST. What's been the highlight of your day so far? Awesome. I want to respect your time, respect my time. Mind if I just jump into it? Here's what's going to happen on the call. But before we get deep into it, do you mind just telling me, why were you interested in our service today? And then, shut up, do the salesman pause, let them speak, and you're going to find out real quickly, is there even a deal on the table here to be had? Because one of 3 things is going to happen. Either number one, they are going to immediately be what I call a red light. Okay, so they're immediately going to turn it around on you and be like, well, I don't know. You tell me why I should be interested in your product or your service. And they're going to be kind of belligerent about it. Okay, so that's a big red light. That tells you this person is not pre-sold. This person is, here to waste our time and just try to get us to cop up a price or something. He's not buying today, 9 times out of 10. And very quickly, I would just, basically wrap up that conversation. Now, you might also get someone who's a little more in the middle of the road. This is what I call a yellow light. And all this means is they're just not going to know. So you're going to say, like, why were you interested in our product or service today? I don't know. I guess I saw the ad. I don't know. You tell me, or like, I don't know. I just wanted to learn more and see what you got. They're going to be real lukewarm and just loosey goosey, like just going to be like, I don't know. Okay, so they're a yellow light. They're not like belligerent and like turning it around on you, although they kind of subtly are by saying like, I don't know. You tell me why I should be interested in this. But same thing here. I would shut down this conversation pretty quickly and just be like, okay, cool. Well, it sounds like you got this going on. How about you check out one of our other resources? I'll email it to you, and if you like that and you want to go to the next step, book a call with us again, and boom. Okay, save yourself the 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or whatever. Don't waste your time with the cherry pickers here. So what you're looking for is what I call a green light. And a green light is someone who just immediately jumps into explaining their problems and how they see that your solution is going to help them. So this is literally, one of these three things is what's going to happen when you ask this question. Why were you interested in our product or service today? Well, I saw the ad and I really appreciate what you guys said about, overcoming X, Y, and Z. And I've been really struggling with, this thing lately, and I am looking for a solution that does this and this and this, and so they're just gonna start opening up, and you're gonna notice it's like friendlier. They're gonna be more vulnerable and sharing with you, and so that is a prime candidate right off the bat for, hey, we got a deal on the table. This person's sincerely looking to get help with this today. So that is number one. Just right off the bat, you can immediately qualify your leads, and this is what that little rudder from the very beginning of the sales conversation. If you get this one right, if you got someone who green lights on that and goes in the direction you want them to go there, great. You are never going to be able to argue these people into submission. I mean, maybe you can argue them into submission, but there's going to be lots of buyer regret on the back end, and more than likely they're also going to be a nightmare client if you do end up working with them, if they're like belligerent like that or they're clueless like that. Either they're going to be fighting you the entire time you're working with them, or they're just not going to implement what you tell them to do. They're not going to get results, and then they're going to blame you. So again, you're going to save yourselves all sorts of headache by just focusing on these green light people who are cordial. Now, second way, what I like to do is, let's say we're getting to the close. What I like to do is add a bonus that most people have not seen before, and this bonus is a free vacation. Okay. Now you can go, I've got a partner here. I'll make sure that the link is down in the comments, that sort of thing. There's a few different folks who do this, but I really love these guys over here at marketingboost.com. So what they do is like literally for free, or there's like a little subscription you can pay. I think it's like, $37 a month. You can literally give away fully paid for hotel rooms in all sorts of exotic locations, like literally all over the world. It's crazy. You can give, like Albuquerque, Chicago, Miami, Las Vegas. I've given several of my clients like a vacation in Las Vegas. But you can go all around the world, Hawaii, Australia. This just goes on and on and on. And yeah, they got a special discount right now going. And so, you can give these free, vacations, and there's nothing attached to them. It's not going to be a timeshare sales pitch or something when the person shows up. They literally just, what happens is they've got connections in the hotel industry. These hotels can't, book all of their rooms, 365 days of the year. So they're willing to fill their vacancies, and they'll obviously have some like upgrades if people want to buy those, and so maybe they'll make some money off of it. But basically, by using these guys at Marketing Boost, you can literally just give a bonus of a free vacation. Like, hey, if you sign up today, we're also going to be giving you this 3-night stay in such and such hotel at Las Vegas. It's super simple, hassle-free. It's amazing. So definitely check that one out. And it's so much better than offering like a discount or like some of those other sleazy things that like everybody knows, like, okay, you just made this up. You made up this, discount that you're giving me. You don't actually ever charge full price and stuff like that. People can sniff through that stuff nowadays. So that's basically those. And then the last one that I really like, and I would just ask people, hey, would it be a crazy idea if we threw in a free vacation with this? Boom, there's your sales closing phrase. When they do finally say yes, this comes from Chris Voss again, go for 3 yeses. Okay, so 3 yeses. What I mean by that is you want to figure out, okay, what are they agreeing to? So good phrase here to ask here is, is just basically say, sounds like you want option A today. And I shouldn't even say today, it sounds like you're wanting to move forward with option A. Okay, so if you got different pricing models or something like that, or if, again, retail store, like, yeah, it looks like you want to get that shirt today. And I won't even say today. Again, I'm over jumping the gun here, okay? But you could say today. Yeah, sounds like you're wanting to get that shirt today. Okay, they say yes. Okay, so they just agreed to the what? Like they want to get the thing you're selling them. Now I would get them to confirm the when. So this is where I would be saying today. So like, okay, cool. So sounds like you're wanting to get started today. So I've just said, okay, sounds like you want option A. Yes, that's right. Okay, cool. And looks like you're wanting to get started today. Yes, let's get started today. Okay, boom. We just got our second yes, our second commitment. Now we go for the how. And I love this phrase Chris Voss has, is like, yes is nothing without how. Okay. And so this is where you would say, great, the next step is we'll just basically take your payment, via credit card. You mind if I run that card right now? Yes, let's do it. Okay, so they just committed 3 times and they said yes 3 times. I can't tell you how many times when I was first starting my, my like one of my client getting businesses where I was, selling stuff over the phone. Like I'd get people to say yes, they'd say yes to buying, but then of course they'd ghost, or they wouldn't pay, or they pay but they just weren't a good client, or they totally gave up and left after the first month or something like that. And as soon as I started using this framework on my closing at the end of the calls, boom, customers stayed literally for years. I've still got customers for years once I implemented this thing. And it's just this 3-question structure. What is it they're agreeing to? When would they like to get started? How are we going to take the next step? And if you get them to say yes to all 3 of those, boom. So that's what I recommend. Knock these 3 things out. Ask your why questions at the beginning of the sales call. Only work with the good green light people. When you get to the time to make the offer, throw in a free vacation using marketing boosts. And then on top of that, once they're basically saying yes, they want to move forward, confirm 3 times that you get the yes, and that's going to make sure you collect the payment. And usually when people have committed that much, they stick much longer, or they're really happy. Like I've had people like literally didn't even get results for them or anything. Like as soon as after this, they'd hop off and they're like, I'm referring you to all my friends, and like boom, get a boatload of clients that way. It's crazy. When you get that psychological commitment from somebody, and you're not doing anything sleazy here. You're literally serving them to the best of your ability, and you're just confirming like, okay, I just want to make sure you really want this, right? So implement those. And then on top of it, at the end of the day, if you get your salespeople doing this stuff, they're going to be closing more deals. If they're closing more deals, they're going to be hungry for more leads. And you want to make sure they are getting more of these green light type of people and less of these red light, yellow light type of people, at the top of their funnel. As always, my first recommendation to people is, my partner, Paul Murphy here, I'll make sure this link's in the chat as well. He's got a program that's showing people how to get free Google ads today. Why are Google ads important? Especially if you can get them for free, because Google ads are different from anything like Facebook or LinkedIn, where you're interrupting. They're way better than cold calling or anything like that. The advantage of Google is it's high intent search. Someone is searching for your specific product or your service. They're typing that into Google, and they're looking to buy it. And if you can find a way to get in front of those people for free, now you are filling your pipeline with green light people all day long, and starting to filter out a lot of the red light, yellow light people. Again, my favorite examples, if you're a fire, water, mold restoration company, I don't sit around and just Google my basement just flooded. Like if I don't have a visceral, painful problem. And if you're in that industry, like 99% of fire, water, mold restoration companies, they're dealing with referrals from other commercial properties, and they have to kind of exclusively use Google ads. They can't really use Facebook ads or any of that other stuff because they need the people who are in the painful problem right now. And if they're not in the painful moment right now, They're totally blind. Nobody knows what a restoration company even is. And you might be experiencing the same thing in your industry where you're like, nobody knows what I do unless they have this problem. And then suddenly they're looking for me. And so this is, the best way to just immediately get in front of those people without having to pay for clicks, without having to compete with all the other competition, trying to, basically driving up the cost of Google ads and stuff like that. It's a really cool, sick, just fast way to get in front of people there, and it's evergreen. You build it once and it's gone. So that's what I got for you guys today. As always, comment below what your favorite closing phrase is. So what's your favorite sales closing phrase? Little thing we're doing on this video. For everybody who comments in the first 24 hours, what your favorite sales closing phrase is, I'm actually going to give you one of those free vacations to either Cancun or Las Vegas, your choice. I will get one of those sent over to you, and you'll be off to the races. Go have a vacation with your spouse or your partner, and enjoy what you got into business for. And we'll make sure people who comment in the first 24 hours, because I want this to be as much of a group think as possible. So any sales closing phrases you found that have worked really well for you, share them with everybody else. Let's learn from each other, depend on each other there. And make sure you hit the bell, subscribe, because my next video is going to be on ultimate email list building. So the ultimate email list blueprint, 3 ways to get your hands on 1,000 targeted email addresses and watch your business soar in 2023. I'll see you on that video. Until next time, stay awesome.